Hey everybody, it's Matt Electric here, back in the Battle Stadium for some more VGC, and today we're trying out a rather unique team from a viewer actually when we were streaming over on Twitch, who sent me this team. For those reasons, he's asked me not to give away any EV spreads, so I can't give you guys the team to try out, but I'm going to show it to you using Durant, Gothitelle, Double, Lapras, Chandler, and KOMMO-O. Now, the funny thing about this team is, if you can get the Lapras set up, it's quite easy to sleep. Quite easy to sleep? No, it's not easy to sleep. Opponents might sleep on it. No, it's quite easy to sweep. But the biggest issue this team has is ghost types, specifically Mimikyu. Nonetheless, we'll see how we get on. And, oh, of course, it's Sun. Mate, Sun is everywhere at the moment. It's absolutely everywhere. Over the last couple of streams I've been doing, 50% of the teams I've been fighting have been Sun teams, and I'm not even exaggerating because I write down the teams, as you can, as you guys well know from these videos. You can see me writing down this team right now. But yeah, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous how many Sun teams are out at the moment. Like, people have got to stop bringing Goodra more. Goodra just walls them. And Simeon. So it's probably going to be the Rotom and Venusaur. Sorry, the Whimsicott and Venusaur, or the Whimsicott and Charizard. It may be Sunny Day Whimsicott here. I think I'm just going to go with the Lapras and Gothitelle. I don't think this is really the game for Durant, if I'm honest. We'll have KOMMO-O in the back because he doesn't have any Dragon Resist apart from the Whimsicott. So, and maybe we'll bring Chandler as well. Yeah, I think so. I don't want to risk bringing both Double and KOMMO-O. Double only has Body Press as an attacking move, and KOMMO-O only has Aura Sphere and Clang Scales. So, Fairy types as well are a pretty big problem for this team. Like I said, Mimikyu is a huge issue because only 2 of the Pokemon on the whole team can hit it. Sorry, two of the Pokemon on the team can't hit it. God, I'm messing up all my words this morning. So it's going to be Jellicent Rotom, which is fine. I can fake out the Rotom here and probably just set up a G-Max Resonance. We are the we are a weakness policy variant, so if he does hit me with the Max Lightning here, which it looks likely, then it will proc and we will do decent damage. I actually don't think this still does more than 50% to a bulky Rotom though. Yeah, so Max Lightning's going to come out here. I've gone for Fake Out. It's not going to matter a huge amount, obviously, because Dynamax makes you immune to flinching. But, of course, it is nice to see that he isn't going to be going for a Nasty Plot, because this could have been a really good opportunity for him, actually, to have just sat here and gone for a Nasty Plot. The question is, once I set up this Aurora Bell up, do I just want to switch straight out into KOMMO-O? Quite possibly, because KOMMO-O's got a pretty good matchup in this scenario. Provided that the Jellicent doesn't have Ice Beam. Jellicent could also have Will-O-Wisp, which would be a bit of a problem for me. Oh, no, not really, because KOMMO is a special attacker. That's a lot of damage to Gothitelle. Good lord. It's a Max Darkness. So maybe next time we switch out Lapras into KOMMO-O and go for an ally switch. That's probably the play, because if he wants to get rid of my Gothitelle, then he can. We will... KOMMO resists all 3 attacks from this Rotom, so if I can just make use of the... Oh my god, we did so little damage. Yeah, alright, we're going to have to switch. We're going to have to go out into KOMMO-O, who should take a hit fine from this Rotom. And he goes for the Shadow Ball, actually double targeting my Gothitelle. So just making sure that he can switch out. I don't think Gothitelle's going to live that, no. So we're actually going to get the free switching into KOMMO-O here, which is not a bad thing at all. Chandler isn't particularly useful in this scenario against 2 water types. But I'll bring in KOMMO-O, and I'll go for the... I think in this situation, I'm just going to go for another G-Max Resonance. I don't really want to set the rain up for him, although he can set it up himself. But let's click Clangorous Soul and get KOMMO-O set up. If Jasmine wants to go for a Will-O-Wisp, then that's fine. If he wants to strength that, then that's fine as well, because, like I said, we're relying on our special attack stat. So we go for the Clangorous Soul here, which is going to reduce our HP by 1/3, but it's going to boost all our stats in the process. And because it's a sound move as well, using Throat Spray, we can go up to +2 at special attack, which is super nice. So he's gone for the max darkness here into my KOMMO-O, which does absolutely nothing. Of course, we are going to have our special defense drop, but with Aurora Veil and the +1 special defense, anyway, you know, we've still got the Aurora Veil protection, so we should be fine here. As G-Max Resonance comes out from Lapras, and next turn we'll get some huge damage off with the Dragon move. Or actually, I might go for Protect. That's not a bad option because he seems to be very, very his intention is clearly to target my KOMMO-O here. He actually gets another special defense drop, which is super unfortunate for us. He may also look to go for a Trick Room here after seeing my KOMMO-O get a speed boost, which could be very dangerous. Look, I don't think KOMMO-O survives. It will survive the next couple of turns, though, unless if I don't go for Protect, which is a little bit worrying. But at the same time, I can't really risk. If he Trick Rooms here, I'd probably just straight up lose because I've got Chandler in the back, which is Scarfed. I think I'm just going to have to go for damage here, you know. We'll go for the Clanging Scales. It's a +2 special attack. It does nowhere near enough. It does not even do close to doing enough. And it disables, which is super annoying. And we activate a Citrus Bear on that Rotom. Yeah, I'm just not going to break through here at all. The Max Lightning is a lot more than what I expected it to do, if I'm honest. It must be max HP, max special attack with that Rotom. It does trigger the weakness policy, which I don't see it being that useful to me, to be honest. This G-Max Resonance goes off into Jellicent. As I said, I'm very scared of a Trick Room here. No, he just goes for a Shadow Ball. Can we take it? No, we don't take it. And he crits! We might have taken that, which sucks. Yeah, screw you, crit. Screw you. KOMMO-O's damage output was actually very surprisingly poor. I tend to see it do a lot more damage than that, but I suppose Jellicent is a very bulky Pokemon in itself. And when Rotom's sort of defenses are pretty good, but its HP is poor. But when you double its HP up, it also becomes extremely bulky. So clearly I just couldn't punch my way through it, which is, you know, annoying. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I think in this scenario, I just click Freeze Dry on Jellicent. We know we outspeed, and I look at his team: Whimsicott, Charizard, Venusaur, Jellicent, Passimian. I think I just have to click Shadow Ball here on Rotom. That should be a knockout against Rotom. He actually protects, which is fine, because Freeze Dry is going to knock him out. So Shadow Ball goes into the Rotom here, which is protected, of course. Freeze Dry from Lapras goes out. That's going to knock out the Jellicent. Okay, so it's 2 versus 3 at this stage. Could be 2 versus 2 if I look to take out this this Rotom. Now the interesting thing is he has lost his Dynamax. He's already used it up. Venusaur comes in. It's a shame I don't have access to my Heat Wave here. But he has just seen me try and Shadow Ball that Rotom. So maybe... Oh, Freeze Dry's disabled. That really sucks. I'm going to have to give a Life Dew then. I'm going to have to get some damage off onto this Venusaur, I think, regardless of what happens here. Maybe I just try and take out the Rotom. I'm going to have to... Look, I need to knock out a Rotom because it's a huge threat to Chandler. Shadow Ball should do that. I'd be very surprised if this doesn't take it out. Right, good. So... I mean, it's still going to be difficult to win from this situation. He's gone for the Sleep Powder, but we're protected by Electric Terrain, so that's amazing. As Lapras goes for a Life Dew and is able to heal up a little bit. So, all is not lost yet. Right? All is not lost yet. We've taken out the Jellicent, we've taken out the Rotom. Aurora Veil is down, unfortunately. We do have the Electric Terrain up, though, which is protecting us from the... Sleep Powder. This is probably where I lose. I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump into Charizard here. There's no real point in me going for Protect, because he's just going to get damage off no matter what. So Chandler's going to fire for Shadow Ball here into the Charizard. How much damage can we do? It's a solid 2 KO. Hydro Pump will finish it off. He goes for the Air Slash into Chandler, which... Another crit. Of course, game. Of course there's another crit. Why wouldn't it be? And Venusaur's going to finish off Lapras with an Energy Ball. Well, that's bloody great, isn't it? It probably isn't, but imagine if Energy Ball was Venusaur's only attacking move. All of a sudden, that crit matters a huge amount. Yeah. Okay, that really sucks. That really sucks. Tech didn't matter. I would have knocked out and he would probably just knock me out with a sludge bomb. Unless he shows me Energy Ball, which... Oh my god, Energy was probably his only attacking move. Mate. Oh man, that crit. That crit really sucks. That crit really sucks. We got crit twice in that game. I think both mattered. The crit on KOMMO-O, I think we would have been left on very little HP. But it would have been enough to the point where I potentially can just Clanging Scales and knock out both Pokemon. They're both at relatively low HP after that. Another option would be to protect the KOMMO-O on the following turn after being at low HP after the crit. Wait for Rotom to come down from its Dynamax and blow them both away. And in that situation, I'm then in a situation where I'm then 3v2, and I'm in a great situation. So I think both crits mattered there. Unfortunate. I got hacks to hell yesterday as well, and all I fought was Sun teams. So that's really frustrating. This trend of getting hacked seems to be continuing. Nonetheless, we'll continue into the next game. Maybe not relying on Lapras so much, but my game plan for that game was lead Lapras, set the screens, and then set KOMMO-O. Unfortunately, it just hadn't worked out that way. Leading Chandler may have been something I could have done. Chandler with Gothitelle. Chandler. Well, the issue with that is though that Shadow Ball from Jellicent could then hit either Pokemon for super effective damage, whether I ally switch or not, which does make things a little bit difficult. 16,000. Okay. So Whimsicott. So we've got Whim, Pulp, Arcanine, Rotom, Corviknight, and Mimikyu. Okay, so obviously they could just go ahead and lead with Whimsicott and set up an early Tailwind, or they've got Max Airstream with the Dragon Ball. You've also potentially got Tailwind on Corviknight, and then if they want to undo sort of someone else's Tailwind, then they could be running Trick Room on Mimikyu. I don't think I like Durant here. I think I'm better off just going Lapras. And this is like I said, Mimikyu's a massive problem for this team. So maybe I have to bring Durant. You know, I don't think I can go down the KOMMO-O double route because of that Mimikyu there. Let's go. I think I'm going to lead Chandler Gothitelle. In that situation, I can prevent 4 of the Pokemon from switching out. Unfortunately, Shadow Tag does not block Ghost types from switching. I'll have Durant, and then it's going to be either KOMMO-O or double. And I think in this situation, it's probably going to have to be KOMMO-O. 2 Ghost types in the field. I can't really afford to bring double because it's too high of a situation where I end up in a double versus a Ghost type situation. At least if it's Dragapult versus KOMMO-O. If KOMMO-O's set up, it can beat the Dragapult, whereas double wouldn't stand a chance. And so double's a fun pick for this team. In reality, it's not a great pick. We're going to see the Arcanine and the Whimsicott as I lead Chandler Gothitelle, which is absolutely fine for me. Brilliant, actually. And I can actually just go for a Shadow Ball into the Whimsicott and go for a Fake Out. I could see him going for Snarl, to be honest. Oh, this could also be Beat Up. Which is quite likely, actually. So I think I'm going to have to double target that Whimsicott and get rid of it. It's extremely likely that it's Tailwind Beat Up with Justified. I don't believe we saw an Intimidate there either, which would mean he's either Flash Fire or is Justified. There's no way he's Flash Fire. He can't switch. It looks like it's going to be Dynamaxing the Arcanine here. So like I said, very likely to be Justified, which he may be running Crunch. I have seen some Justified Arcanine running as an Assault Vest, which is probably the worst case scenario for me in this scenario. worst case scenario for me in this scenario. I'm not sure if that makes sense. We do get the fake out off onto the Whimsicott, which is going to do a bit of chip, break the potential focus sash, and Chandler's going to follow up with an energy ball. So if I can stop this Tailwind, that would be incredible. I don't stop it, and he will be either getting a Tailwind or a... well, he can get a Tailwind off. He won't be getting a beat up off here. I believe... I'll have to check Chandler's ability here. Because if we're Flash Fire, then I think I'd probably Ally Switch and Shadow Ball the Whimsicott. He does now know that my Chandler is scarfed. Okay, we're going to go for an Ally Switch then. Shadow Ball into Whimsicott. He can set Tailwind, which is probably more likely, but I just need to get rid of it. And like I said, we'll go for an Ally Switch. And hopefully he goes for the Max Flare into my Gothitelle. That would force him to just waste a turn of his Dynamax essentially, which would be amazing. Shadow Ball's going to go out straight. So he was going for the beat up. He decided not to go for the Tailwind. Probably a mistake from my opponent there. I think he needed the speed control. And he does go for the Max Flare, and it goes straight into Chandler's Flash Fire, which is fantastic. So he led Arcanine, Mimikyu, Arcanine, Whimsicott. Whimsicott is gone. Mimikyu comes in here. So here, a Shadow Ball could just break the Mimikyu's disguise. If I go out into Durant, I die to the Arcanine. If I go out into KOMMO-O, I die to the Mimikyu. So it's not a very good combination of Pokemon for me here, in this scenario, I have to say. I think here I'm just going to go for a Side Shock into Mimikyu and go for a Shadow Ball. I think I'm going to have to just double target it. If I can break the disguise, then Durant can do work. But it's very reliant on me breaking this disguise. So let's go for the Shadow Ball. We drop the special defense, which is super nice. Not very useful to me. Actually, to be fair, if Chandler doesn't live this turn, then it's not very useful at all. Because Side Shock is going to hit on the physical side. Mimikyu does go for the Shadow Claw here into my Chandler, and we don't survive it. So maybe Life Orb Mimikyu here, because Mimikyu's attack stat is not that high. I thought I might be able to live a hit. It is Life Orb damage, as I did expect. And Max Flare is going to come out from Arcanine. Now the nice thing here is that this is his last turn of Dynamax. Gothitelle won't live that because it is now in the sun. And Mimikyu has lost... He does not have the Tailwind up, and Mimikyu has lost its disguise. Which puts me in quite a good scenario now. Where I can bring in Durant. Durant can go for the Iron Head onto Mimikyu, and it will give me a free opportunity here to just set up with KOMMO-O. The issue is, if the Arcanine has access to Play Rough, which I know it does get, but is it running it? It's not really likely, I don't think, in this current metagame. Max Steel Spike will give us a defense boost as well, so that'll be Mimikyu gone. And as I said, I'm going to have to go for a Clanging Scales here. Not Clanging Scales, sorry, a Clangorous Soul Blaze. Not Soul Blaze. Soul Blaze is the Zim. Clangorous Soul. There we go. So let's Dynamax with the Durant. Get the nice defense boost. With a defense boost, maybe we'll live a Max Flare. I doubt it because it is of course now in the sun. So it's extremely unlikely. But getting rid of the Tailwinding Whimsicott was hugely important here because it means that the Arcanine doesn't outspeed my Durant. Max Steel Spike is going to go straight into this Mimikyu here, which should be a knockout. In fact, it will be a knockout. There's no way it's not a knockout. And that will give KOMMO-O here a free opportunity to go for a Clangorous Soul, which puts us in a super nice situation. I am going to be hoping... I'm going to be relying on Aura Sphere more than... oh, he is actually running Play Rough. So this is a +2 defense, though. And we are able to live, which is amazing. And we are able to just get off the Clangorous Soul here. Now, we are Throat Spray, not Life Orb, which means... we will be remaining at a very low amount of HP. There is a chance that this thing could be running extreme speed, so I may look to protect KOMMO-O next turn, as we do sit on 8 HP. I do believe we've got Max Rockfall, which I could use, but it's not great for KOMMO-O setting up, because it would set the sand. Are you Max Rockfall or are you Stomping Tantrum? Max Rockfall. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not great. I think here I'm going to have to go for a Max Knuckle into Rotom and follow up with an Aura Sphere. And just hope I can take him out. Because I don't think Durant's going to take out the... Durant could one-shot Arcanine. It doesn't one-shot Rotom. And that's my problem. So I'm going to have to double target the Rotom here. KOMMO fires off an Aura Sphere. And does some massive damage into Rotom as Durant follows up with a Max Knuckle, which is going to boost our attack. And Rotom does not survive this turn. Which leaves it 2v1 with the Arcanine. Where does Arcanine target? He targets my Durant and goes for the Flare Blitz. Now, does Arcanine live a +2 Clangor Soul? That's the question. Does he have extreme speed? If he has extreme speed, I'm screwed. A huge amount of damage. Sunlight goes down. If he has E-Speed, he wins. If he doesn't, I probably win. And I believe Clang Scales is my best. I keep getting these two moves mixed up. Yeah, Aura Sphere is only base 80. Let's go for the Clang Scales. Does he have extreme speed? He has Protect. He did not go for extreme speed, so we know he's got Play Rough, a fire move. And Protect. Do you have extreme speed? I don't think you do. Based off that. He does not. We hit the Clanging Scales. That should knock out the Arcanine here. And that's going to be the game. So 1-for-1 with this team. Surprisingly enough, we actually beat the team which had Mimikyu, which is the team I was probably most scared of. Which is quite funny, isn't it? So if you do enjoy this content, guys, do join me over on twitch.tv. Links are in the description. Like I said, I can't give you access to this team, unfortunately, due to the person asking me not to reveal the EV spreads. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoy. And I'll see you next time.